Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Too Many Words podcast. We are on episode 37. 37, yeah?
Yeah.
Of the podcast, man. And, as always, I am your host, Isaac Joseph. Isaac William Joseph. Isaac W.J.L. Thank you very much. Across from me is the very handsome, very awesome, very meaty, very panda-ish, very responsible assistant manager of the Hy-Vee Deli and Grimes, Jordan Van Cleef.
You're damn right.
Today he is Superman. As for me, I look like I'm an extra in the Barbie movie coming out this year.
It's pretty accurate.
So yeah. Jordan, how you doing, man? How you doing?
I'm great, baby.
Good. I could be better, but, I feel like good things are in the future for me,
Yeah.
I feel like good things are on the come up, With that said, I got some announcements pertaining to the podcast or stuff that's surrounding the podcast. As mentioned last week, yours truly is writing and directing a movie. Well, spoiler alert, if you haven't seen the movie, it's nothing like what was said last week.
This is very, very true.
Absolutely nothing.
In the span of a week, what happened
In the span of a week, I pulled out a whole new movie out my booty.
And filmed it.
Wrote it.
Everything.
Reshot it. Some parts.
You had to reshoot something?
Of course.
What?
I mean, that hallway shot, it took like 4 takes, yeah?
Well, yeah, but that's not reshoots. That's just
Whatever.
different takes.
Whatever. Yeah, we didn't reshoot anything, huh? Due to time, availability, and things we just could not change. But yeah, first announcement is the very meta film project is it's available on the YouTube because it has to be, because it's my homework. It has to be. Literally in 2 days, it has to be on part of my portfolio, and my portfolio is theskullstone.com. So what are you gonna do? Outside of that, another announcement for the podcast. We have a TV for the podcast.
I mean, that's completely irrelevant right now.
It's irrelevant. We're not using it. Sorry.
We don't have an HDMI.
I don't even. What will we use the TV for?
I have plans already.
Will we do? Okay, new rule for me personally. This is the only way I would watch movie trailers
On the podcast?
on the podcast. First live reaction.
Nice. I respect that.
Yeah, but it has to be movies that I either wasn't crazy about at first,
Can you stop talking like that?
or
Please.
movies that I did not plan on watching, but then you're like, hey, let's go watch this, and
Pretty
so
please.
like Asteroid City,
know
when
why
you
you
were
keep
talking
talking like
about how all the shots were like neutral, that would have been a pretty good one to. So should we have the
He's a
TV
fucking
right here?
loser, isn't it?
Should we have
Yeah.
the TV
I
right
think
here
leave it right there.
or right here?
Leave it right there.
Okay, so should that be like camera 4,
For right now,
or is it just gonna be an off-screen thing
the off-screen
for a
thing.
very long time?
Till we get that
Very long
till we
time.
get camera 3 up and running,
Alright.
and then we can move it over.
What's
here.
wrong with What's wrong with the way I'm talking?
It's not you.
What do you mean it's not me?
It's not you.
I'm me always.
No, right now you're like okay. Right now you're like Dub Smoke, but worse.
What are you talking about?
It's fucking goofy.
You know what's crazy?
He's goofy, man.
You know what's crazy about Jordan, eh? This guy across the table from me, this guy, he's an assistant manager for a deli. Where you gabagool?
I got it.
You got gabagool?
Yeah.
Never brought home for me.
Oh,
Never brought home gabagool.
I was about to say you probably wouldn't like it, but honestly, no, you probably definitely would. But
Gabagool.
yeah, I don't like capicola. So,
You know what's funny?
but,
You actually said it right.
yeah,
Almost.
capicola.
Yeah. Capicola.
I like when I'm like doing the sandwich bar and there's a sandwich that has capicola on it. I'll go capicola
Why?
because that's just a fun way to say it, like a Canadian or some shit.
You think 5.5 minutes, almost 6 minutes of me talking like this has been enough?
I think more than 30 seconds was too much.
Ah, okay. Well, it's too bad. You think I can go an hour like this? You think I can go an hour like this?
As a matter of fact, I know you can.
I was Fago for like 3 days, man. For those who don't know, Fago is a D&D character that I had. He was a Spaniard, right? And, yeah, Jordan hated that long weekend where I just talked like
I
a
just had a
Spanish
brilliant
man.
idea.
What's up?
We have Fago as a podcast guest.
No,
Why not?
no, because I might work for a Christian network soon. And we don't need Fago being Fago at all.
I don't know what.
You can only witness Fago if you come to play D&D with your truly Isaac William Joseph.
Fine, we can have one of your other personas as a guest on the podcast, but I have an exact idea on how we can do it.
All right, we can talk about that
After
off the
podcast.
show.
Yeah, we'll leave it off.
Off the show. So, should I go into how my week was, or should I go?
Yeah.
Should we go into how your week was?
You.
All right, I've done 2 interviews.
Nice.
Yeah, because like last week I was announcing
That
that
jump scare for you.
last week I was yeah, that ear damage. But anyways, last week I announced that I was quitting my job. Last day is the 1st of the month of May. It's very interesting because last year, May 1st, Hannah and I became official again. And then this year, I'm about to be unemployed. It's going to really make her mad when I text her on May 1st. And be like, happy 1-year anniversary, baby. She's going to be like, it's been almost 2 years. And I'm going to be like, nah, we don't count that. And then she's going to be like, bye. Talk to you later. Something like that. What?
I'm just listening to you talk. Am I not supposed to look at you
Am
when you talk?
I serenading you with my voice right now?
No,
No. Why?
because it's ugly.
Why is it an ugly voice?
It's Italian.
What's wrong with Italians?
They're ugly. No, that's not true. But Connor did tell me that
You kiss your mother with that in mouth? Huh?
Connor did tell me that I guess Italians are stereotypically they're pretty rapey. So
Isn't that just like the
mob
skunk
mafia.
from Looney Tunes?
I don't know.
It's like, that
He's French.
Yeah, he's French. Never mind.
what was that you were about to do? He's like, who you?
No, we. How could someone smelling so sweet? Being so beautiful.
weird combination of Italian and French. No, the French they stink.
Stop saying things!
Sorry, these are just stereotypes.
But yes, I had 2 interviews. I'm not thinking about doing one of them. I'm hoping the other one takes me.
Take me away.
The way I phrase that makes it really sound like, I'm hoping the one takes me because I declined the other one. No, regardless on if this one takes me or not, it's just an internship. I'm interning with radio. That doesn't mean I'm going to be on radio. even if I was with this company for a few years, I probably wouldn't make it on the radio just yet. A few years, maybe. You know. Even if I was with this company for like a year, how about that? Because I feel like 3 years has a pretty good threshold for me to make it on there. But yeah, Jordan, what do you think about me working on the radio?
Scary.
You think it's a step forward or a step back from podcasting?
Radio's a step forward.
I mean, I think it's a step forward professionally.
Because any schmuck with a good microphone and a camera can record a podcast.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, look at us. We're just two schmucks. But,
two schmucks are better than one, Jordan.
It takes, like, money to have a radio station.
Yeah.
Because you got to pay for that.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. And guess where the studio's at?
Where?
Not their mom's basement.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, it's really just gonna be an internship, starting me on decent pay for an internship. But I won't know until next week on if I get that. So right now, that's why I'm dressed up like I'm Barbie girl. You know, I got my floral on. I got floral shorts on. I got this headband on. I had sunglasses on. Because I'm celebrating this brief period of unemployment that I'm probably gonna run into, but it's okay. I think at max, I'm going to be unemployed for 2 weeks. At max. Last time I was unemployed, I
got a question.
What's up?
Why didn't you wait to quit till after you got a new job?
Because I don't do that.
Why?
Okay, I started to do that, right? I started to do that. And then I got really sick of where I was working. Because, like, I had 2 interviews lined up. And I have... Bro, if I want this job, and then this other job takes me, I suddenly have 2 jobs. Okay, I'm covered. I'm fine. I already know what I'm going to do. Break glass in case of emergency. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to walk to JCD and Hobby and say, hey, I want a job. That's break glass in case of emergency. But I want to work for this lighting company. It's this small production company. They're like rent equipment stuff, like people like that, you know. So I'd be like setting up and tearing down a lot. I think that would be great, especially with event coordinating, and also educating myself with stuff that could be better for this podcast: lighting, sound, picture, video, lighting, crazy stuff like that, you know. And I think, you know, I'm currently applying for it right now. And I showed my eagerness by calling them yesterday. Be like, hey, I'll put an application in. I was just wondering if I could, I was just wondering if y'all saw it. They're like, yeah, our person's like really, really busy with that, but I'll let her know. What's your name? You know, stuff like that, right? I feel like... Other than what's it called? What's it called when you use a place that helps you get hired somewhere else?
There's a name for that?
Yeah.
Manipulation?
No. Oh my gosh. But yeah. Other than that one time where I used that, it's a something agency.
A temp agency.
I think so. Yeah. Yeah, a temp agency. Yeah, they help you get hired. Other than me using that one time, the only jobs I've ever gotten was when I made phone calls after I applied. Then they'll be like, hey, come on in for an interview. I applied at Walgreens. Less than a week later, I walked in there. Hey, I applied for you guys. I want a job. And then they told me I applied at a different location on accident. But we'll take you here. And I'll be like, perfect. But yeah. Yeah, that's just me I'm stumbling right now, bro. That's just how I've been lately, you know, finishing up homeworks, you know, the final stretch of the school year, applying for jobs, getting really excited about what my schedule could be like without school. Because, like, that doesn't mean, oh, I get to play video games more. That means that I can do something that makes me more money. You know? And even if it's not as high paying as my previous job, I can dedicate more time to that job. Or I could have 2 jobs that I could dedicate more total time. Because what I really like, you know, because I didn't hate it when I had 2 jobs, you know, balancing Walgreens and Hy-Vee, and then ever so briefly Hy-Vee and my factory job, right? I like having multiple things to do. You get bored slower with what you're doing, you know. So yeah, Jordan, any questions, thoughts? How'd my interview go? Well, how'd my interview go? See,
I didn't ask that.
Well, it is because you're a good friend, and good friends ask those questions.
I don't want to hear about it.
Oh.
I'm just kidding. How'd your interview go?
Well, the one with the radio went almost as good as it could have been.
Ow. Okay.
Yeah.
How do you mean by almost?
Almost? Well, see, Jordan, I have this curse. Look at that flag that's posted up on our wall right there.
Yeah.
That's a testament to who I am.
Is it?
I have a severe issue with talking too much. Like an employer, ever since my first ever job, I was 16 trying to get my job at Hy-Vee for the first time, right? And ever since, like, I don't know, forever, I have answered questions with way too long of answers, Jordan. Like, I remember that one Bosnian lady, she was interviewing me at Hy-Vee. We know who that is. Mm-hmm. She's like, on a scale of 1 to 10,
that's racist.
How good of a worker do you think you are? And I'm like, I'd say 8 because of this. But on some days, I feel like this. But, you know, I feel like I'm an 8 because you can never really account for this and this and this and this. And that's why I'm not a 10 and blah, blah, blah. She's like, on a scale of 1 to 10. I'm like, 8. Sorry. 8. I'll never forget that. She got so annoyed, bro. And I would have never gotten the job until my mom called Rob Gutierrez. I'll say his name because I have nothing but good things to say about Rob Gutierrez. Isn't that funny? Like a shtick with our podcast. If your name has never been mentioned on the podcast, we're probably talking bad about you. Or we probably don't like you.
And there's been exceptions where we do like you, and we just want to protect you.
And then there's those rare moments where we do like you, but you're just not interesting enough to ever be mentioned on the podcast. Sorry, Obama. What?
That's racist.
How's that racist?
I don't know.
Okay. Sorry, Bill Gates.
There you go.
Yeah, I got one of each. Isn't that's racist in itself? Not even mentioning, like, other races. Isn't that weird how, like, America makes such a big deal about 2 races, and then, like, Asians and Latinos are like, what the hell? What the hell, man? Like, I actually, years ago, I saw an argument where all these people were, like, down on Trump. And I think it was, like, during, like, the first wave of BLM. And they were invalidating this Latino guy who was also as oppressed, or at least he was explaining his oppression. And they were counting him out. They're like, bro, you're just Mexican. I'm like, damn, okay. It's kind of ironic. Racism is such a complex spectrum, you know, on how, like, accidental it could happen, you know. It's probably happened accidentally a couple times on this podcast series. Jordan, what are you doing?
Pointing at things.
Pointing at things. Am I talking too much? Jordan, tell me about your week, brother.
All right. So I worked every day.
That's why we don't talk about your week.
Except for today.
Yeah? What'd you do today?
Today I went to the bank. I
And
went to my bank and I applied for
a loan.
a loan.
A
Yeah.
loan.
I am going to purchase a project car. I got approved.
Are you now?
Yes. I got approved for $2,000.
You could buy my El Camino.
No, I can't.
No, you can't. Sorry. My grandpa got to it first.
Honestly, if you had just waited this long, I could have been buying it right now. I don't. If we were in that situation, I would have bought it a lot sooner.
Mm-hmm.
I promise you that.
Tell me about this car.
Anyways, the seller hasn't really been getting back to me much because I sent him one message, and then he replied, and then I sent him another message, and he hasn't replied. But there was a
$5 to anybody that can guess that sound without watching YouTube.
Why'd you throw that?
I don't know. I regret doing that as soon as it left my hands. It's like getting angry as a child and throwing your controller. No.
Okay. Anyways, there was on Facebook Marketplace there was an '88 Camaro listed for $1,300, and I was like, "Oh my god!"
Wait, what'd you just say?
Oh my god!
No, it's oh my goodness.
Okay, I want that.
It's oh my goodness.
Okay. Oh my goodness.
We gotta clean up our podcast.
I am not censoring myself. I've told you.
We
this
gotta
before.
clean up our podcast. You know why?
Why?
During my interview, I had mentioned the podcast. She's like, yeah, I checked out your website. Let it be known, this is the first time an employer actually used my website for what it's for. My website is a resume. My website is a portfolio. There's nothing horribly wrong on there. It's actually everything I've done on there I'm quite proud of.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a little bit of like a swallow your heart down your throat.
It's like, oh, you did.
It's like,
what now?
oh, you. Nobody's looked at that on a professional level ever. Why are you giving me stuff?
I made it.
You made it.
I don't want it to melt.
You don't want it to melt. Jordan, bring it into frame, buddy. What is this?
What is this? A squishy straw.
It's a squishy straw because we're saving the turtles. Now sit down. Sit down. It's your beverage for this episode.
Thank you.
Goodbye.
I can't walk.
You cannot watch because you'll watch it later when it's out in 2 weeks.
Well, that tastes really good.
She's still here.
So what?
What is it? How's that taste?
Berry and vanilla and I don't know what else. Honestly, tastes good. You want to taste it?
I guess I'll try. Cool. Just kidding. Not bad,
Not bad.
I guess.
You guess.
Yeah, it's all right. She put in frozen strawberries and bananas.
Bananas. That's what it is.
Yeah. But yeah, the first time the scaldstone.com has ever been used by
For
an
its intended
employer.
purpose. Yes.
Honestly made me nervous,
Would make me hella nervous.
but I got the chance to recommend a couple episodes. And I'm like, what episodes did my church friends come on for? And I didn't recommend I did not recommend the one with Les, because the one with Les is quite controversial, and my
Yeah.
employer was a woman.
He's definitely got some controversial opinions.
Yeah.
He's also, Les is he's a great guy, but
Great guy.
He kind of seems a little bit much to me. personally.
Much like overwhelming.
Yeah.
I think very high goal-oriented people can definitely come off as like that, because I've been overwhelming at points for a lot of people too. People like Les and I were pretty proud of it though. That's our stamp, But yeah, I got to recommend the Thanksgiving episode with Kemi.
That's cool.
That's
Short,
a cute
but go on.
episode. And then the Christmas episode. Worst thing I say in that episode is ass. So, yeah. It's all good. But,
They're not gonna like me though.
No, they're not going to like you. My dad called me. He's like, you might have to start cleaning it up on your podcast. Just in case.
Your dad called about that?
Yeah.
For what episode? Just in
Just
general?
in general. And he's like, mostly on Jordan's end especially, though.
I'm going to say it again. I refuse to censor myself.
I don't want you to censor yourself. I'll take care of what I need to do.
Okay, you do that.
Okay? Especially, it's kind of fun. Like going back and forth, me trying to be appropriate and you just not giving a damn.
That is fun. It's
know?
a very interesting dynamic.
But,
But like, my goal personally was an 18 plus podcast, but that's clearly not your goal, so I'm okay with that.
18 plus doesn't mean smut.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
Okay. One. The radio is not smut, but it's 18 plus, or just for anybody.
Is it?
Okay,
I don't think so.
It's,
I don't think that's accurate.
okay,
at all.
okay. 18 plus.
18 plus to me.
Nobody
means
can listen under the age of 18.
It has swear words and some sexual content. I don't know, just stuff for more of the. 16 plus. How about that? That makes me feel better. Because, teenagers will at least be like, yeah, that's cool.
Have you seen an episode of AEW,
No.
All Elite Wrestling?
No.
They're TV 14.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't think any. Really?
Yeah, they're TV 14.
Interesting.
They're pretty gritty. So I think we're TV 14. I think we're TV 14. If we said the F word a lot less, we'd be PG 13. Like if we said the F word one time per episode, we'd be PG 13.
Okay.
So yeah.
Kind of puts it in a little bit different perspective. I didn't realize. I thought that would be rated a lot higher. Anything wrestling, honestly, because of how graphic it can be. It's very interesting to me. Okay.
I mean,
Good to know.
WWE, with the exception of recent years, has always been on public television. So
There's a lot
regular
of,
cable.
There's a lot of things on public television that are not appropriate for the wide audience, but
Cinemax. Something like that. But I have one last thing to go over with what happened in
kind of interrupted
my week.
me.
I did.
But let's go over your last thing here.
No, let's go over your car.
No, I want to
bro.
go over your last thing.
No, let's finish the
I
car
said-
arc.
Okay.
Okay, I don't want someone to be super interested in like something from 10 minutes ago and then I didn't know I interrupted you. I thought like you tied a bow in it. Hey, this is the car I'm wanting to buy. Boom, that's it.
No, he was like, I don't even remember.
Tell us
now.
about the car.
Anyways, it's an 88 Camaro.
And you
which-
said, "Oh my goodness."
Oh my goodness, I want this car.
Yes.
Excuse me. If you're not familiar with the 88 body style, it's the IROC Z. It is not an IROC Z because it does not have the V8 engine in it. It has a V6. As I got into a discussion with Isaac about, is I want to keep things stock, so I will probably not be changing that out to a V8. But that might be something I do later down
Are
the
you
line.
painting it?
I do plan on repainting it
Alright.
because the paint's pretty scuffed.
Better be a stock production color.
Yeah, I want to actually look into what the original
Chevy
color is.
orange.
It's red.
Yes, but let's do Chevy orange.
I don't want orange.
Chevy orange is the sexiest.
I want it to be a
orange.
period color too. I honestly, like I said, I want it to be
brownish red.
No, I want it to be like the original color.
Okay.
So wait a second.
That's the promo.
Okay. Anyways, I definitely plan on repainting it. Repainting it will be the very last thing I do, because I don't want to screw up the paint while I'm working on the car. It looks like it's in all right condition. Isaac, in the general term, what would you consider your El Camino's condition to have been in when you sold it?
When I sold it, worse than when I bought it.
Well, obviously that much, because it didn't run when you sold it, and it ran when you bought it. So there's definitely a big difference there.
Well, here's the problem. The El Camino just required just enough money for me to not be able to want to put money into it, and just enough time for me to not be able to dedicate that to it. Honestly, the El Camino was
Scale
just,
of 1 to 10.
The El Camino was like 1 week's worth of hard work away
Honestly, yeah.
from being just a really nice El Camino.
1 week's worth and $100.
Yeah. I mean, there's some cosmetic issues, but like overall,
Well, for it to be drivable again, that's what I'm saying.
I wouldn't trust going cross state with it, even in the peak of.
I mean,
it.
the floorboards were completely rotted out, but that's.
I'd say that was for how old it was and for how iconic it was or it is. That's a 7 out of 10 vehicle, and possibly the best El Camino you can get for that price for what I got.
Honestly, yeah. That's probably not too far off. You might be able to find one that's slightly better condition for maybe like an extra $500. But yeah, I think that's reasonable to say.
So yeah, 8 out of 10. What do you think?
That's not what you said a second ago.
7 out of 10.
I'd say this Camaro is probably an 8 out of 10. Just because the body and...
Does it run?
I don't know.
You don't know.
Because in the listing...
That's pretty important to know,
In the listing, he says, I was told the motor is bad, but I have a new one that needs to be put into it.
Is he going to pay for it?
Probably not. That's
or
fine.
Is he just going to let you have it in the back seat?
Probably that. But either way, I'm like I said to you, I'm also fully prepared to completely rebuild the engine and whatnot if I need to. Apparently, there's actually a lot of YouTube tutorials for this car.
I will help you rebuild it if you let me make it the main character's car in whatever film I shoot.
Okay. When I finish the full restoration, that'll be exactly...
It'll be Jacoby Kennedy's car.
Okay.
You know who Jacoby Kennedy is?
No.
He's a character in something
Wait,
I've been
yes,
writing.
Yes, I do know who that is.
Yeah, you should.
I
You
do
should
know
definitely
who
know
that
who
is.
Jacoby Kennedy is.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I do, actually.
Yeah.
I do remember now.
Go on to skullstone.com for the first 2 chapters.
I thought he drove a truck.
He did drive a truck. But, like, that's
The movie adaptation is going to be a little bit different, right?
Yeah. 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 Honestly, I bet I could make a solid pilot.
Honda Pilot? No, I'm just kidding.
The way I think of it cinematically, it would definitely have, like, a greenish Joker tint to it. But tell us more about this vehicle. What do you plan on doing with it? What's
main
it
goal,
for?
It's just personal recreation, fun, entertainment. I don't know. I want to have a car that I can take to a car show.
Yes.
So like my main goal is to do a full restoration on it. And honestly, if I change my mind down the line, I might upgrade it to an IROC Z. I'll get the official tampo and badging for it. I'll get
An IROC. What's an IROC?
IROC Z is it's the
an IROC Z.
Yeah, IROC-Z.
Okay.
It's the same body style, same era of Camaro. It was just their performance, the more performance one. Why is this taking so long? There we go. So, I guess I can't really show you, but you know what? This blue one's fine. Maybe. The resolution on that's pretty terrible.
Terrible. You know, while you're Google searching, I want to just say the most surprising thing about my employer finding my website is I have absolutely no clue how they found that.
Did you not put it on your application?
No.
Did they Google you?
Well, yeah, I guess it was a pretty routine background check, but like, I have not been
Do you
legitimately.
have it on Facebook?
What?
Do you have it on Facebook?
What?
Do you have a link to your website on Facebook? On your
Um,
Facebook account?
Yes.
Like if I go to your Facebook account,
Yes.
there will be a link
yes.
to your website.
See,
on it, and
we
that's
could throw
different.
that back on the TV. you know?
Yeah, that would be the point of the TV.
Yeah.
But same body style, just more performance. Bit cooler. Is all it really is. But that's like I said, I'm more so leaning towards just a full stock restoration. Isaac got at me about if you restore it, then it's not gonna be stock. No, that's original parts. This thing ain't gonna have original parts on it because look at it, it's not in the best condition, obviously. Original to have a running and driving original car from this era is pretty hard to come by, honestly. Yeah, no, it'll be a fun project. It'll be an expensive project. My goal is to have something ready in 3 years.
Tres.
Maybe even 4, because that's when all
Tres,
my
yes.
loan will be taken care of.
Yes.
Because, so the way I'm doing it is I'm just slapping this new loan on top of my pre-existing loan for my other car. And I'll essentially be using my other car as the leverage.
Jazz.
So, yeah.
Baby girl.
It'll actually, it ended up working out really well. I am taking a little bit of increase in my interest rate. My interest rate currently was 5%.
Yeah. No, it's like 7.
A little bit higher than that.
It's
10
15
now.
Oh.
Still, it's still a pretty damn decent interest rate. For a car loan, that's a little bit on the higher side, definitely. But like comparatively, over 4 years, 10% is not going to be that much.
Did you tell him it was from 1988?
So the interest rate's not for that card. It's going to be for my Ford.
Oh.
So, like I said, I'm tacking the new loan on top of the existing loan. So I'm still only going to have one payment per month.
Yep.
So right now I'm paying $45 a week. It comes directly out of my paycheck because I bank through my job. So that money just essentially doesn't exist to me. But I think it's going to be up to like $50 or $55 a week, which still is not a lot.
Yeah. If I didn't have a loan, I'd be making almost $500. If I didn't have a loan and I didn't go to school, I'd be making $2,800 a month.
Lots of money.
Yeah.
I don't even know what I'm
Freaking
making.
education getting in the way of things.
But yeah, no, it'll be a fun project. I just hope this dude responds to me, because I'm thinking I'm just gonna send him a message, be like, hey, can I come check out the car on Monday? Because that's my next day off.
Okay.
So,
Oh, yeah, I have actually 2 things to talk about.
all right, now it's your turn.
I saw the movie Renfield.
I don't even know what that is.
I want you to watch the trailer. Will we be able to hear the trailer?
I mean, I can turn the volume up.
I would like us to be able to
But
hear
we
the
probably
trailer.
shouldn't do that.
Oh, okay. Well then, am I just going to talk the whole time while you're watching the trailer? Or what? So
I have seen the trailer for this.
This movie has
Okay.
Nicolas Cage in it.
The name throws me off every time. I've seen the trailer for this. It's actually got a pretty good cast in it.
Really good cast.
Ben Schwartz.
Yeah. So yeah, I would give Renfield. I don't think I could give Renfield a number. Here's my take on it. For those who have seen Bullet Train,
Yeah.
it is, you almost get the same amount of entertainment value, but it has a better story to it.
Okay.
Entertainment value means like silliness, fun,
Mm-hmm.
ridiculousness. Oh, dude, and the action in it. Dude, I specifically say Bullet Train because of the fight scenes that were in it. They were very well choreographed. They had amazing songs to it.
Bullet Train actually had a lot of money behind it.
Yeah, they did.
Like, it was a really big budget movie for
Well,
no reason.
Look at the cast.
I mean, I guess, yeah. But, like, everything else. I don't know.
I'd like to say the cast was probably half of the budget.
Oh, most certainly, probably.
Don't break that shelf, sir.
I'm going to break
Please.
your face.
Don't break the shelf.
I'm not going to break the shelf.
Thank you. You just want lean back. Lean back.
Not too far.
But yeah. Let me try to put a number on the movie. I'd say I'd give it.
Booty rocking cowgirl.
Well, one second. Cool Hannah Babe. We're gonna find out what Hannah thought of Renfield. If she answers, she's sleeping right now, and I'm just being very rude.
Weren't you supposed to wake her up anyways?
Yeah, I like to wake her up on Fridays so she can adjust to, a normal sleeping schedule for the weekend, because she likes to come over for the weekends. And, I cannot deal with a Hannah that's, awake in the mornings and then sleeps the entire... Hey, babe, what would you give Renfield out of 10?
7.
7? Okay. Thank you. Love you. You should wake up. Anyways, 7 out of 10, Hannah says, for Renfield. But yeah, it's a really good movie. Nicolas Cage is very good in it. Main actor, I wish I knew his name, really good in it. It has such an original premise to it because it's based on the story of Dracula's servant. And, I don't want to spoil it for folks, especially if, you didn't see the movie, so I'm not going to try to elaborate the entire movie if you haven't seen the movie. Not for the sake of spoiling it for you, but for the sake of, I don't want to talk for 30 minutes again. So, I will say, so there's an aspect of the movie where Dracula's blood has a healing factor. And this girl's sister dies in the movie. Mm-hmm. And about 15 minutes later, she's resurrected using Dracula blood.
Is she a vampire now?
No. But it's kind of funny because the entirety of the movie, every character in the movie fully understood that this was a legit Dracula that we were dealing with on our hands. Except for this sister, for some reason, that decided to... Jordan?
Sorry.
Never do that again, sir.
I just had to do it once to get out of the way.
Okay. One big one.
Mm-hmm.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
You just...
I actually was conscious of that. I was like, oh, fuck, this is going to make a noise.
And then it did it.
I'm just going to go...
Okay. But yeah, she's like, what does Dracula blood mean? She's like, oh, it's it's like a protein thing. She's like, can you get those at GNC? Because that was really good. Because this girl was legitimately dead, and then it brought her back to life. She's like, yeah, you can get it at a GNC. Guess where we saw this movie?
Where?
We saw this at Jordan Creek Mall.
Okay.
Jordan Creek has a GNC.
Yeah.
And I had to do it, Jordan.
You went there.
I had to do it.
You went there and asked them for it.
No. Oh, I should have. But as Hannah and I, we were leaving. We walked past the GNC, and I'm like, "Hey, you think they got any Dracula blood in there?" And she does "Oh my gosh, Isaac, stop it!" And yeah, me being a charming boyfriend hits once again.
God, you're stupid. I love you. Mwah.
I'm only stupid because I choose to be.
That's cool.
And I can't be any smarter.
That's not true. You're trying to be smarter. That's why you're going back to school.
No. I went back to school, and I sacrificed $2,800 a month. That's not smart. Come on.
I don't know, man.
Just kidding. I'd have to be broke now so I can be a millionaire later. That's how that works, right?
Yeah.
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 Anything else from you, sir?
Look out for the Mother's Day special. We got that coming up pretty soon.
Are
here.
we actually going to do that?
Oh, we have to. I've already told my mom we're doing it. So, like, we have
Bare
to.
minimum, we'll have your mother on there.
Oh.
And then we could just talk about you the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I don't see any reason why we can't just kidnap your mom.
I don't know. She's going to make fun of this entire thing.
Well, yeah, but that's just how your mother is. It's kind of the
Yeah,
whole point.
she's kind of like non-supportive in that way, you know? It's really fun.
It's just the idea is to, like, you know, bring on our mothers as they are.
Yeah, I know. I don't want my mom to put on any sort of censorship or anything. I need them to find out how awful she is. I'm just kidding. I'm crying for help, guys. But anyways, no, yeah. Mother's Day special when?
On Mother's Day.
It will come out on Mother's Day.
Yeah.
Isn't that the 15th? 15th. On the 15th, guys. On the 15th. You know what we're doing May 5th, though?
No.
Nothing. We're doing nothing on May 5th because we're going to do it on May 4th. You know what we're doing May 4th?
The bracket. Aren't
What
we?
bracket?
The Star Wars bracket.
No.
Oh.
You know what we're doing on May 4th?
What are we doing on May 4th?
Clear your calendar, baby girl.
What are we doing on May 4th?
We're gonna go see it.
We're going to go see Star Wars?
No.
Why? What are we going to see then? I don't know what
I can't believe you.
He must be talking about Guardians then.
Oh!
So
Of course, we are going to see probably the greatest wrap-up to a franchise in this decade, okay? Maybe since the freaking millennium, okay? You know why? You know why, Jordan? Because James Gunn cares. He is a director that cares. This guy cares about his characters, cares about his storyline, cares about the brand he's going to,
He's still
okay?
talking.
This will be, at least for me, the best movie to come out of 2023, if not the first half of this decade.
the reason why I kept going Star Wars related, do you know why?
Because the 40th anniversary...
No.
What?
May 4th is like Star Wars Day.
I know.
May the 4th be with you.
I know.
Doofus!
I mean, I didn't know in that moment, but I do know
Now.
unconsciously. But like I don't celebrate May the 4th.
I do. I definitely do.
Yeah.
I
Okay. So wait a second. I gotta think of scheduling here. I gotta think of it. The last weekend of this month, April, we will go see the 40th anniversary of which Star Wars film?
Return of the Jedi.
Return of the Jedi.
Last time I looked for it, it was not listed on theaters yet.
Well, here's the thing. I need to experience one of the originals in theaters.
So, AMC does have it listed, but no show times have been announced yet.
So I once gave AMC a phone call about a certain movie. I forgot what movie, but that does not matter in this story. They only put up show times, I think, within the week.
That makes most sense.
Or even 48 hours ahead.
See, I don't know how long it's going to be in theaters for. I'm hoping it's going to be a week.
I hope it's just the weekend because we can do that.
Well, I thought you were going to be out of town.
So, Jordan, I will be back home by Saturday. we can go see it on Saturday, and then we can go see Guardians of the Galaxy on May 4th. You know what that means?
What?
In the same podcast week, we go see both of those movies. You dress up in whatever Star Wars garb you got. I'll dress up as Peter Quill. And we'll have the greatest galactic freaking episode of movie reviews that we can ever talk about. Okay? And it does not matter that it is... What?
40-year-old movie?
It does not matter, okay? There are plenty of podcasts that review classic movies. Okay? This will be in celebration. We will join the 40th year celebration of this movie. Because guess what? Although I have been so far taken away from Star Wars just because I've been so enveloped in like other fandoms, I still appreciate Star Wars. I still appreciate a really good Star Wars movie.
If we're gonna see a
We gotta
40th
do
anniversary one, this is gonna be it. This is Return of the Jedi is like.
A lot of people consider that the best one, yeah?
I do.
Yeah.
Best of the original trilogy.
People just love that original trilogy. I mean, come on. It's a freaking pillar in pop culture. So, is that both of us?
No, it's my iPad.
Oh, yours is really bad. Oh, your iPad and your phone? Okay. But yeah, I am already super excited. We are going to do a double-header movie review
Double
episode.
whammy.
Oh my goodness. I can't believe it. We're advertising the hell out of a random future episode. This is crazy. This is great. You know why? I love Guardians. You love Star Wars. We both love a little bit of the other one. You know. And yeah, for space nerds, I see you. You're out there.
Josh, this is for you, baby girl.
We are gonna do it. We are going to go see Return of the Jedi and Guardians Volume 3.
Okay.
Oh, dude, I'm already so psyched. Dude, how much of a loser am I for geeking out this hard right now? I've been
Absolutely
geeking
not
out
one
for
at
like
all.
the last 5 minutes.
You're not a loser at all. Something else that's probably pretty notable. The Mandalorian Season 3 came to a finishing, a close this week.
For shooting?
No, for airing.
Airing.
Yes.
See, that's how taken away I am.
It was a big season. There was definitely a couple filler episodes. Jack Black showed up in one of them. That was kind of weird.
I saw a picture of that, yeah. With Lizzo.
Yes, with Lizzo.
I actually think that's really cool.
I enjoyed that episode regardless. But in the grand scheme of things, this was huge. Very huge.
Tell me about it, baby girl.
It's very big. Very big deal.
How big? Like bigger than Lizzo?
That's not very nice.
She's super popular. What are you talking about?
Okay. No, it's just like, if you've been keeping up with the story of Star Wars and the other stuff, then you'll be like, okay.
I like her music, okay?
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Is that all you're going to say about it?
No, I don't want to spoil anything, so I mean, even though
Yeah,
it'll come out
that's fair.
several days later.
That's fair.
But, what else is new? I gotta pee, like, really bad.
Well, that's why I did it right before podcasting,
Well,
and you yelled at me for it.
I didn't yell at you for it.
Jordan, what did you do while I went to the bathroom?
I watched your video.
You watched my movie.
And then Connor called me halfway through it, and then I had to finish it by the time you got back.
What you think about my movie?
The movie was good. The movie was very good.
Okay, guys. I
Check
think
it out.
I think
It's
we
gonna be on
failed
YouTube.
to mention what the new movie idea was.
We did.
The very meta movie film
I'm gonna
project.
I'm gonna let you talk about that while I go to the potty. Okay. Okay. Thank you.
You're not saying it. Okay. Okay.
Say something funny.
Thank you. Oh, you didn't shut the door. Thanks. Okay. do I really explain the whole movie? Okay, so yeah, the film is. Let me just open this up with how nothing has gone smoothly for this entire project. It was straight dog water booty. Okay. First of all, as I've previously mentioned on the podcast, we were a three-person group. Ever since getting into groups, okay, this is how that first class with the group went. We got our phone numbers, and this one girl in our group was like, hey, I have to leave early because of some sort of appointment. Can I get your phone numbers? And so we got each other's phone numbers. And then that was the last we had ever seen or heard or anything of that little girl, of that woman, okay? Why did I say little girl? That little old person, okay? That in you know, maybe it was in hindsight, this was the wrong decision, but I don't think it would have been a bad decision if, you know, things worked out well after this. But my project partner Sammy, she will be featured in this film a lot. Okay, she's actor number 2 or 1. We both have pretty equal screen time, so yeah, she's in this film. Sammy and I, we get done with the class, and she's like, so how are we gonna do this? I have a lot of homework. And I'm like, relax, I have a lot of homework. And so I was like, we will talk about our ideas that we thought about this week. We'll talk about it next week when we see each other in class next time. Lo and behold, a whole week goes by. I formulated an idea. Sammy had not formed an idea. And our third person was, you guessed it, gone. So we talked about it. We tried to text our third person, say, hey, can we get together sometime? Didn't really work out. Another week goes by. We're like, hey, it's my mom's birthday. I'm not going to class unless both my team members are going. So I called Sammy. I'm like, hey, are you going? She's like, yeah, I was thinking of, but I also have this. And I'm like, well, I was thinking of, but I also have this. Have we gotten it connected with our third person? And we're both like, nope, let's try. And then, you know, lo and behold, nope. And so, yeah, I decided to celebrate my mom's birthday a week later, which was Monday this week. Now we have less than a week to film, do any of this, right? Hey, buddy, you know what's crazy? This really is the Too Many Words podcast, because I have not described for a second what the movie is. I've been setting it up.
What do you mean?
Oh, just about how everything wrong happened before actually doing this. And
Keep
so,
Keep going.
yeah, we were in that week where we skipped class. We actually did meet up the very next day, and I said, hey, our third person was going to be the lead in my original idea, but let's look for an actress this week. Okay? And people who saw my Facebook post asking for an actress, that's when that happened. That's when I made that decision. We have to find an actress. Well, we didn't find an actress. Well, guess what happened that following weekend? I had to scrap the whole new plan. I was like, if I stick to this idea, if I stick to this plan, we're not going to have a movie. And so I made a film. I wrote it. Written and directed by Isaac William Joseph.
Filmed by yours truly, Jordan.
Camera guy number 1, Jordan Van Cleve. Camera guy number 2, Isaac William Joseph.
No, you don't count.
Why?
So I filmed most.
I
of
was
it.
like all the still shots.
Okay. But I was there,
Yeah.
so that means I take over, and I
Yeah.
overrule that.
Yeah, that's why you're
So-
camera guy number 1. And
the
I'm
only-
camera guy
I'm the
number
only
2.
Camera guy.
Sure.
Yeah.
There was a whole day of filming that wasn't with you,
Yeah.
and that's why my head was not
I
in the
guess
shot.
montage. The montage. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
But anyways,
I don't know, man.
yeah, so I wrote a new script for the backup plan. And yeah, what you guys will see as my film project, if you check it out. What should it be titled? What should the YouTube video say? The film project.
What's our movie? Question mark.
No.
Or what movie is this? Question mark.
No.
What kind of movie is this?
No.
What kind of film is this?
You never forget I asked the question. I still love you.
He really doesn't love me.
Hey, not all my ideas are good either, okay?
Those ideas were great. I don't know what you're talking about.
So yeah, go check it out. So, do I spoil the movie?
No.
No? Okay, go check it out. It's very meta.
It's only like, what, 5 minutes long?
4 minutes, 2 seconds. I might add credits and titles. Tyrion, go upstairs.
Fine. What is the
Tyrion, go upstairs.
What is the
Tyrion,
Isaac? What is the podcast for?
it's for me.
And Jordan,
Yep.
you don't give me enough podcast.
That is a bad kid. Or at least an aggressive one.
Yeah.
You know what's insane?
What?
He's like the worst sometimes. And I still love him so much. Like, now I understand what dads are talking about, like, for comedy shows, and they're like, this guy's a little asshole, but the love meter has not gone down. It's insane.
Okay.
Like, I love him so much, but, like, dude, imagine an adult do what he just did. What a
Like-
douche canoe.
Yeah.
Yeah. What a douche canoe.
I think it's just the fact that he's a kid.
Yeah. Yeah. An adult would not do that.
He's gonna be 4 years old.
Yeah, no adult would ever interrupt a podcast like my sister did about 30 minutes ago.
I mean, she didn't do it like that though.
No, she did not.
She also provided something.
Yeah. Did you like that
It
drink?
was good. Yeah.
Good.
It was good.
Good.
I love bananas. So.
Yeah. You have another 30
Banana's
minutes to go
fantastic.
through.
And now we have like 25.
Okay. Okay. I'm at an hour 2.
Oh, that's right. You started after.
Yeah. I always start after you. Because you are so ever so rude. Just starting whatever the hell you want. And just be
That's
like,
me trying to tell you to hurry the fuck up.
every podcast episode has to be perfect.
Mm-hmm.
And I have to be ready.
Mm-hmm.
And I have to feel ready.
Mm-hmm.
And I have to go. You know? Yeah, so.
Mhm.
Anyways.
Mm-hmm. I love you.
So, I write the script over the weekend. And then the following Monday, which was the last time we had video production class, I am there at like 4:45, which is an hour and 15 minutes before class is actually scheduled to start. Because I'm editing the script. I want to be able to shoot as soon as Sammy shows up. Well, kind of awkward because Sammy doesn't show up until 45 minutes after 6. It's kind of like her signature move is to be late, but, no hard feelings, Sammy. We got it filmed, okay? Nothing against you.
She did all right.
She did great for when she was there. So, yeah. That was the other cripple in it. It's not Sammy's fault. It's just, everything Sammy's planning to do with her life. Her priorities are not my priorities. This video production class is very linear to what I want to do with my life. And this video production class for Sammy is actually like
Just a side thing.
just an elective that she didn't exactly mean to do. Because on the first day, she was like, is this photography? Will we be doing photos? And Mr. McNabb was like, no. She's like, oh. And then for some reason she kept coming. So there's that. Yeah, she's a mom and she's trying to do nursing. She's a full-time beautician and all this other stuff. So yeah,
She's got a very, very,
very big plate.
yeah.
Yeah, it reminds me of my schedule.
Her schedule makes your schedule look like a joke.
Jordan, you don't know my schedule.
Okay. Okay.
I love you though.
I mean, currently.
I mean, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, a mother or a parent of any kind trumps me anyways.
Yes.
So, with that said, McNabb comes into class later, you know. I'm
Stop
sitting
kicking
there.
me.
I'm sitting
wrong
there.
with you?
Get a bigger table. I'm sitting there typing. He's like, "We missed you last week." And that's when I remember, oh yeah, I skipped class a week ago.
You did?
Well, yeah, to celebrate my mom's birthday.
I don't remember that at all.
Well, yeah, why would I tell you when I skipped class?
Because I'm your
Hey, Jordan,
friend.
just letting you know I'm not going to school today.
I would imagine you have been like, oh, man, yeah, so I skipped class the other day. Yeah.
What, and celebrated my mom's birthday? Ooh. Got her a Tom McDonald t-shirt. But, other than that, yeah, I'm remembering that I skipped class. And he was just a little bit upset about that. He was concerned. I was like, well, was our third partner there? And he's like, no. And I'm like, okay, great. Then I didn't skip class for nothing. Because I was only going to go to class if all three of us were going to be there. But yeah, he said a lot. I said a lot. There was never really like a dispute. But he's like, on a scale of 1 to 10, because I told him everything that I've been struggling with. I told him everything that I just told you fans, you listeners, everything I've been struggling with. And he said, on a scale of 1 to 10, how sure are you that you will have something for me by Sunday? And I'm like, none out of 10, Mr. McNabb, because I got a new script right here behind me. He's like, okay, great. And he's like, did you ever think about like contacting me? And I was like, you know, my partner and I thought about it, but I was like, you know, that's like a break glass in case of emergency. And he's like, no. I'm like a good morning, here's your glass of water for the day kind of guy. Okay, there is no such thing as over communication, but there is such thing as under communication.
Respect.
There's a couple people at my work that would probably disagree. Because my boss at work was getting really annoyed with the amount of questions I was asking this morning.
I thought your boss liked you.
He said that on Wednesday, but he didn't really show it today. But that's okay, because he also understands that we get on each other's nerves throughout the day. That's how work goes sometimes, you know? But it's kind of ironic because, like, when I met him, he's like, you can't ask too many questions. Like, there's no such thing as asking too many questions. But honestly, dude, this was kind of like an open lab kind of day for class. And so after I wrote the script, I kind of just went off and did whatever the hell I needed to do, right? With you, too. You were there.
That's why.
But before you showed up, I will forever cherish the conversation we continued to have. Because it started with this. Hey, I'm going to need this camera for the film. He's like, okay. And then we walked down to the closet, right? And he just asks, so what are you going to do for the summer? I was like, well, I think it's finally time I get a job or an internship related to what I want to do with my education. He's like, that sounds smart. What are you doing? And I'm like, well, I am doing this internship with a radio station. Well, I have an interview with this for this internship at a radio station. You know, I need to stop talking like I already have it, because then I'm going to be severely disappointed if I don't get it. But, you know, I'm pretty confident that I deserve it. You know, it's whatever. It's whatever. And then I had mentioned that I was going to apply and do an interview for a job at Wells Fargo for the Iowa Event Center. And he's like, you know, if you're trying to do that, you should really look into, I mean, still do the interview for Wells Fargo. You know, if they pay more money, obviously go for that. But something with a little bit more variety, something that will be a little bit better, try out Marquee's Lighting. And that's what that's why I've been needing, like, Shaylin's info and stuff like that, because I am finishing my application on Marquee's Lighting.
Did he ever get back to you?
This week. No. I'll wait till the end of the day, and then I'll try to find someone else. But, let's see. Then we really started talking about jobs and what I wanted to do with my life. And, you know, I was like, hey, man, if I stick with, like, Marquee's Lighting, if they do hire me, like, after a couple of years, do you think I could be, like, a full-fledged event coordinator? He's like, oh, for sure. For sure. And I'm like,
show.
You know, McNabb, you really know a lot, so I'm going to ask you this. This is my end goal. It's a bonus if I get to work with Marvel, but I want to be a screenwriter for movies. And then maybe eventually have the chops to be a full-on director. And this is what he said. Technology is advancing so quickly. If you want to be a screenwriter, write. If you want to be a director, direct. And he's like, and you are going to spend a lot of money and a lot of time on stuff that will suck for a long time, until one day you get lucky and it all just pieces together. You can try your damnedest, okay? You clock out of Marquee's Lighting, you get done with your internship, and you go home and you write. And you go home and you direct. And after 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10 years, you'll get lucky. Maybe.
So what you're saying
And
is
you'll
you're
get
going to
picked
start
up.
making short films.
I'm going to start making short films.
Nice.
Maybe not immediately. Maybe I'll start making a lot of things that are just, you know, ideas, and maybe I'll wait to get some production value. I think I'm going to have to start finally investing into some, like,
stop motion action figures wrestling.
I mean, that maybe
Takes time and patience.
Maybe like I could do like a
show
short series of
determination.
matches. Oh, like what if I like recreated my favorite WWE matches with wrestling figures? Oh, people would watch that.
Oh yeah.
People would, especially if it's good. Oh, people would
Well,
watch
that's
that.
the thing with stop motion. Whether or not how good it is entirely reflects on how much effort you put into it.
Absolutely.
Because like, the more frames you shoot, the better it looks.
You know what's fun? I had a little flip phone.
Mm-hmm.
Flip. It kind of just shifted,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and then you could text, right? It had a camera feature
Mm-hmm.
where you could do stop motion.
Yeah.
And I did stop motion videos with my action figures when I was young. That's why I'm so confident in a lot of things that I'm doing these days. Because if it's something that I actually enjoyed doing as a kid, it gives me like this idea of maybe I was born for something. maybe I just have a natural allure for something. Because, like, I've always wanted to be like Casey, where I could just start something and just be good at it. Ain't that some shit? Sorry.
That's just the way Casey is, man. It's the way he's always been.
Oh, it's just the way
He's
is, being in the
naturally-
top 100 in the world.
Top 50
for
now.
Top 50 in the world for axe throwing, something he started up like a year ago.
But I mean, Casey's
Something he
just
did twice
naturally-
prior to the year ago.
He's just naturally gifted at a lot of things, and like, there's just people like that, and I'm not shaming him or hating on him at all.
Why would you? How is that shaming to say that he's just naturally gifted at things? Unless you're implying that he doesn't have to work hard. But he is He's a
He
hard
works
worker.
very hard.
He
at
works
his
very
welding
hard.
job.
Yes, he does. But anyways, I gotta start directing. I gotta start
Honestly,
writing.
I think the stop motion idea is a fantastic idea.
Yeah, it'll actually put to use the money I spend into all this crap.
Yeah.
Especially for the ones that I just want to open. You know?
No, it's just, I think because stop motion is actually really respected in the animation film industry because it takes a lot more effort than typically anything else.
Yep.
It's determination and, what's the word? Resilience.
Yeah. That's a good one.
But yeah, no.
But yeah, I need to be a lot more freelance. See, I think with the writing, I've made the exception of, my writing work is my essays that I have to write, and I'm getting by with that, right? I have 3 women's basketball papers that I still need to upload to the website. But yeah, I need to get a little bit more into creative writing when I'm not in school.
Start going to Goodwill and seeing if they have any video cameras for sale.
Yeah,
You might be able to find a really good one for a decent price.
maybe. But yeah, Jordan, Mr. McNabb has become my favorite teacher of all time.
I'm really curious as to what the first lady was like.
What first lady?
The lady McNabb replaced, right?
That's the other class.
Oh.
That's the writing class.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Happened with my writing class last semester.
And then again this semester.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
But yeah, Mr. McNabb has become my favorite teacher of all time because...
I want to go back to that real quick.
What?
I haven't heard anything about your writing class in a long time.
Yeah.
Is it done?
No,
Okay.
it's just not interesting.
Okay.
Oh, I showed up. We talked. That's it. I left. I have a response to do now. Up.
Okay.
Maybe I'll talk about the WNBA. That's what I've been writing about, but
Okay.
All
right,
maybe I'll talk about it a little bit more once I make the announcement that it is officially on the website. So yeah.
All right, go on with what you were saying then.
Mr. McNabb is my favorite teacher of all time because he just gives it to you straight. He is equally a safe space as he is a critical informer. He'll let you know where you messed up. He'll let you know where you could have done better. But he makes it a huge point that even if you don't believe in yourself, he will believe in you. And I really need that from him because if he sees my horrible work that I've just been putting out this whole entire semester, and he says that he believes in me, Jordan, I think I can go on and believe in myself for the rest of this career. Because that man is honest and he is supportive. And
McNabb seems like a really great guy.
he really, I think, is looking out for people's best interest. And it just... Jordan, I might not have to go to a college after I graduate from DMAC.
You really think that?
I really think that.
That's cool. That's good.
Because I'll say it again. If you want to be a writer, write. If you want to be a director, direct.
Or you could be Isaac and do both.
I will do both.
Yeah, no.
I mean, I'm gonna have a hard time making a movie about something I didn't write. You know, I would hate to try to copy a book, at least right now.
Some people just start filming. You know?
See, I would also hate to copy a book because, like, I don't like to read. It's kind of ironic because, like, I do agree that the only way you can become a better writer is to write and read. But I think I'll just stick to writing. You guys can read it. I'll proofread my own stuff though. I proof.
And then you think it's bad.
I have Chapter 2 of Project Bayo on the website has been written probably a total of 3 times over. Not at the same time, but like I write out a scene and I'm like, no, this will be better. And then he's like, no, this will be better. Yeah. So, yeah.
That's just how it be.
That's just the way it is.
I mean, it's still not great to
Things will
your
never be the
expectations.
same. Yeah. Like, Mr. McNabb even points it out. He's like, it will be bad. You will be making bad stuff for a long time until someone, somewhere important, thinks it's good enough and says, hey, can you try this? And he said the same thing about voice acting. Because before I talked to him about the directing and the writing thing, and I'm like, what's like the first stepping stone to getting in the field of like voice narration / acting? He's like,
SoundCloud.
just do a crap ton of samples. Do a bunch of samples, get them out there somehow. And I'm like, that's great because I'm already all over Spotify. He's like, perfect. He's like, Isaac, there's a reason why we don't teach distribution in this class. It's because you guys were raised with it. You guys already know how to do it. You said you're all over Spotify? Great. We don't have to teach that. You can make a TikTok, a YouTube, an Instagram, a Vine, a Facebook, okay? All that stuff.
Did he say Vine?
No, I didn't.
Okay.
I did.
Okay. I was about to be like, that hasn't been a thing in like almost 10 years.
But yes, distribution is something that we all have. We're doing it right freaking now, Jordan.
Yes, we are.
So, he took £1,000,000 off of my shoulders when he said, just do it.
McNabb on the podcast?
No. His time is $264 an hour.
Is that how much your class costs?
No. As an editor, he works with Premiere Pro. He also films a lot of things that he does. But if you, because like he's not just a professor.
He has a job.
How are we supposed to take a video production guy seriously if he's just a teacher?
Exactly.
This guy has worked with like KCCI, ESPN, so many other things, Fox, things like that, right? And so that's why he gets to say, my time is $264 an hour. And he's shown us some video packages that he has done. And I'm like, dude, how the hell did you even do that? Give me a year. I cannot do what you did. Teach me for a year. Maybe I can do that. Or at least a quarter of how good that was. But yeah. He's just like, hey man, go do it. Sample yourself. Put your portfolio out there. There's a reason why our last assignment is a portfolio of every single assignment we've done this semester. He's like, I want you to walk out of this semester and be ready to have a surface level resume for something like this. And if you go above and beyond, maybe I'll call someone. Right? And I'm like, ooh, I'll never have him make that call, you know? But for the first time in a while, I think it's because he brought the bad stuff with the good stuff in his speech to me, which was, it's going to be hard.
Yeah.
And it's going to be bad.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just not something that you will ever be qualified for. It is just something that you have to get lucky in. And it's actually very similar to what I heard on the Two Bears, One Cave podcast, which is, it's fake to say that you have to work hard to be successful. No. You have to get lucky, and then you can work hard. Okay, working hard comes after getting lucky, but you have to get lucky. He actually brought up James Gunn as an example. This guy, I think this guy adores James Gunn because he has mentioned him, I think, at least 3 times in this semester. He says that he thinks and has done this. Guardians of the Galaxy is the only Marvel movies worth putting money into, or
Really?
buying a movie ticket for. That's at least the only time he's put money into going and seeing a Marvel movie. And he's used James Gunn as an example quite a few times in some of these shots when he's trying to explain something stylistically. And he said, you know, it's what James Gunn did. You know, how do you think Marvel picked him up? He saw these, I'm going to mention it, fake porn videos. James Gunn, do you know this? Because I didn't know this. James Gunn made fake porn videos where it's like, oh, I don't think I can pay for this fixed sink. He's like, oh, well, we can open up a credit card for you. You know, a bunch of silly stuff. We'd have to look into that. Like maybe
I had seen that stuff, but like I didn't.
Yeah, like just porn movie trope
Yeah.
spoofs.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
And he's like, yeah, you just got to do it. And maybe I've talked too long about how great Mr. McNabb is. But
Hey man, he's pretty great, so I don't think so.
I think he doesn't even realize this. But he has put quite a change into the direction I will be taking myself in.
Yeah?
Because, like, video production wasn't even my first choice for what my classes will be this semester. He's like, oh, video production, yeah, that can help us with the podcast a little bit. You know, we can have I can learn a thing or two to make the podcasts look and sound a little bit better. And then I walked away from this class knowing exactly what I want to do with my life, Jordan.
Yeah. James Gunn wrote the Scooby-Doo movies.
Yeah, he did.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Absolutely wild.
Yeah. And then, you know, McNabb, he's like, you know, after so many years of working hard, maybe you'll be the new kid on the block and you'll be the 29-year-old prodigy, you know. And I'm like, 29? That's what I'm supposed to graduate from, like, Iowa or something. So, yeah, Jordan, I think I'm going to have to shift a couple things.
You think so?
Because if I'm just going to DMAC, Jordan, if I'm just going to DMAC, what I'm thinking is that I don't do a liberal arts degree. I just do communications. But I'm thinking, does it really matter? Because employers really just look for a degree of any kind. Because a degree means, hey, I can do these assignments with a time frame that has been given to me. And I can do well in that time frame. That's literally all an employer sees. Or are they a graduate at all of college level? Okay, great. And then, you know, then there's some places where it's like, you have to have a master's degree. You have to have a bachelor's degree. You know, stuff like that. But
Hey man, I'm not going to college. At least not right now. I think I
you
want to.
mentioned that ever since episode 5.
I think
Like, word for word.
I definitely want to go to college someday, but like on my own time. Right now, I'd be like, I don't want to do this. I got too much else on my plate.
I mean, for what you want to do, I think
I want to get a
I
business
think some
degree.
college classes are
Yeah.
appropriate.
No, I when I do go, I want to get a business degree.
Because that's like the thing I will never
interrupt me
change
a
my
lot.
mind on. Yeah, I know.
It's
I'm
fine.
sorry.
It's fine.
What were you gonna say, Jordan?
I just want to get a business degree. That's it. That was it. You just as soon as I say I want to get, you start going talking.
Well, I heard you say that,
Yeah,
so I kept
like-
going. I was like, okay, because that's what I was gonna mention was. Yes, I full-fledged agree with whatever Mr. McNabb says. When it comes to like those creative things,
Mm-hmm.
like writing, directing, music making, art, stuff like that, you don't necessarily need a degree. But I'll tell you what, Jordan. If I have to go to the hospital and someone's cutting me open, you're damn right that I want that person to be a college graduate.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, there's there's a line for every occupation, right? You know, construction worker. Okay, can you lift 50 pounds? You know, art teacher. Do you have to be? Wait, do you need a degree to be an art teacher
Honestly,
for like elementary school or something?
don't know.
That
I
ought to
don't.
be- Hmm.
You probably have to have like an art degree. I mean,
You might need like a basic education degree. Yeah. Yeah. Fun fact, you know Barstool Sports?
yeah.
Yeah, the empire that is Barstool. Dave Portnoy, the CEO of that, do you know what he majored in? Education.
Really.
Yeah. Not like mass media or journalism or stuff like that. He did education, which is really interesting. The dude dresses like a teacher sometimes. It's kind of funny. But, enough of
I think it's time for the closer.
Jordan, this is like season 1 of all over again. I talked way too much this episode. Seriously. Oof.
I think it's time for the closer though.
You know why? You know why I talk so much
You
this
have a lot
episode?
to say.
I do have a lot to say, but I also took my happy pills right before this episode. I did. I really did.
Your stress-free pills.
Yeah.
Oh, they're over there.
My stress-free pills. Yeah, there's a canister there, but I got some gummies upstairs of the same crap. Yeah, dude. Stress relief gummies. I don't care if it's a placebo or not. They work. But yeah, let's
Any new Instagram followers?
No.
That's wrong.
We've been at 70.
We were at 69 last week. We've got a tattoo artist that followed us now.
Wait, I think you're right. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, Heck Graphic Studio. They're not a tattoo artist. They're a graphic designer.
Oh yeah, okay.
Do we contact them to make a new logo?
We can at least get a quote. That would be pretty cool.
Okay, so let's talk about this actually.
Though. Okay.
I have been envisioning a new logo for the podcast, but it's not a complete change. This, what you see here, will be in the logo. I want the logo to be us sitting at a table with 2 mics, and that as like a bar sign, a lit up bar sign in the back.
We should just get a bar sign.
And I want him, not necessarily him.
Whoever
be him.
designs it.
Whoever designs it, not Dustin. Like someone like, not to tear Dustin down, but like someone who does this for a living. Someone who's like, this needs to be perfect. This needs to be what the client desires, or I cannot pay for my water this month, or something like that, right? I need it to be like that. Someone who puts blood, sweat, tears, and love into their work. So that's what I'm thinking. Like a really cool professional looking podcast logos that we can like just come across on Spotify, and stuff like that. Like we'll keep this as the logo if we want to trademark stuff or just
Like,
slap a
this is-
sticker on it.
This is the logo, but we're gonna have more.
But
ones
I
that
would
we
like to have like a cover for what we find us on Spotify and stuff like that. I would like to do that. An animated version of us. Wouldn't that be cool? Yeah. I'd have no idea what I would want the artist to like have me wearing. You in a panda suit, me dressed as Viking. Who knows? Anyways, but yes, the Instagram followers is at Heck Graphics Studio.
Heck M.
Heck M Graphics Studio. Found on Instagram. Yeah, yes sir. Guys, rate us 5 stars wherever you're listening,
Please.
please. Or if you're watching, give us a thumbs up on YouTube. Don't you wish it was like 2010
Don't you
and we
wish
could
your
just say
girlfriend
it rank us 5 stars on everything and not just, hey, rank us 5 stars on YouTube, Spotify, and Google and Apple Podcasts. No, it's just Spotify and Google Apple Podcasts. Give us a like, subscribe, anywhere. Oh yeah, and most important, tell a friend, tell a family member, a stranger,
your dog.
share the podcast. Maybe not your dog. I don't think they like.
Tell your dog.
I don't think the dog will like so many cats on the episodes.
Tell your cat then.
Yeah, tell your cat. Tell your cat. Jordan.
Meow.
Jordan.
What?
Where can we find the podcast?
Well, if you go to thescaldstone.com, you can find all of our stuff right there.
That's right. You can find Scald Stone Productions on Facebook, Scald Stone Productions on YouTube, and follow the very podcast specific Instagram at Too Many Words Podcast. It's a good one.
I'm the weekend.
You are the weekend. Jordan, where can we find us personally?
You can find me right here on the Too Many Words podcast.
You can find Jordan on TikTok. It's .justjordan. Really lovely content on there. He's got more followers than me because he blew up a couple times.
No, I didn't.
People adore him for his Legos.
They're all bots.
Really?
All of them.
See, that's why I blocked the bots. So I know.
Free follow, baby.
Free follow. Fake follow.
Doesn't matter.
Well,
Number's
just-
still there.
Whatever. One step closer to being live streaming on TikTok. Whatever. Guys, you can follow me. Okay. I_William Joseph on Instagram. Isaac William Joseph on TikTok. Don't follow me on Facebook, please. I need to make like a professional Facebook because I get pretty personal on my personal Facebook. But yeah.
What?
Jordan,
What?
what's the question for this episode?
What are your dreams? Your hopes and dreams. What are your hopes and dreams? What do you want to do with your life? Like, what's your goal here? Isaac wants to become a writer-director. I want to own and operate my own bar. What about you? Sometimes I think we forget it takes 3 people to make a podcast. Well, 2 people, but it takes the person that is in the podcast, and it takes someone to watch it or listen to it. So you're just as
In
integral
short,
as we are.
Jordan wants to be John Tapper. I want to be Quentin Tarantino.
Okay.
Except for that, I really, even though he's famous for it, I could go without the chronological order or lack thereof that Quentin Tarantino tells his stories in. Yes, Pulp Fiction is one of the best written movies of all time. But like,
How many of his movies have you actually seen?
so I've seen Pulp Fiction, I have seen Inglourious Bastards, and there's probably a movie here and there that I've seen
Inglourious
growing
Bastards.
up.
That was pretty good though.
What?
Inglourious
Inglourious Bastards is great. Quentin Tarantino personally thinks that it is his best movie he's ever made.
That
You
was
can
a
tell
really good
with
movie.
the last line in the movie with Brad Pitt saying, "This might just be my masterpiece." Quentin Tarantino thinks Inglourious Basterds is his masterpiece.
so far.
Well, Quentin Tarantino is only making one more movie, and then he's retiring from directing. Have you heard about that?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. And he also said, I don't know how serious you should take it because, like, he just mentioned it on a podcast, but, like, nothing's released about it. He said that he's writing, like, a TV show. A TV show written by Quentin Tarantino? If that becomes, like, a real thing, we will have to review every episode of that. But, yeah. Yeah, whatever. Who or what do we want to make this podcast episode out to, Jordan? Camaro. 1988.
No, you sound like Beavis.
Stop
it! Stop! No, this episode.
I hate that show.
This episode goes out to my dad.
Was he
I
got
don't
cancer or
think-
something?
No, I just don't think I've dedicated an episode to him yet.
I don't think I've dedicated an episode to my dad either. So with that said, this episode goes out to Professor James McNabb.
You already did that.
Did I?
Yeah,
I dedicated it to
Yeah.
my
episode 35.
for realsies.
Yes. I only know that because I was just finished editing that.
Really?
Mm-hmm. I mean,
Oh,
if
it's
you want to do
Friday.
it again.
It's Friday. I gotta upload. Episode 35 comes out tomorrow.
Yeah.
What was like the meat and potatoes of what D&D movie review? That's what it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ah.
Yeah.
Ah.
That's what. Okay, keeping it simple for me in advertising. Okay, awesome. Since I don't work in paint anymore, I have to like actively like find a time to listen to the podcast now.
Really?
Yeah.
Is it a lot? Is
'Cause
this new position
usually-
like a lot more evolved?
Since there's a lot more teamwork and communication, I feel like it's
Interesting.
absolutely redundant to just take. My
An
earbuds
earbud?
used to be over here. Right here.
Just
To bring these and pause whatever I'm listening to or take these out every single like minute and a half to really make sure I'm hearing what people are saying. So, yeah. Before then, Friday, I'd be sanding down paint and listening to us. All right, Friday, let's go. I can figure out and try to remember what we talked about that week. Make a graphic at noon. And then screenshot parts that I might make a promo into, you know? And now it's just a little bit harder now. So, we'll see. I really gotta...
this is why we really need a team now.
We really do need a team now. And maybe I'll make a lot of money in the summer and be like, hey, someone help us out. But, you know, it's whatever. So, yeah, this episode goes out to...
Not your dad.
My dad. Dad.
Guardians of the Galaxy.
No,
one?
let's do my dad, even though I didn't...
I mean, he's actively listening now, right?
Yeah, but, like, I'd like to, like, shout out the people or the things that are related to the episode, right? So, shout out to Dracula.
Nicolas Cage.
This episode goes out to Dracula.
Nick Cage.
Yeah. Once my dad does, like, another cool thing... Oh, my dad's been 7 months sober. This episode goes out to my dad. Boom. There we go.
You just went back and forth on like 4 different things.
It does not matter.
I think it matters. Okay. It's fine. All right. Anything else you need to go over for the closer? What's our we got any good all-time plays or anything like that?
500.
500. We're doing pretty good, if you ask me. Especially since reigning defending is dead. Keep tanking our views. I'm just teasing you. You know that, right? Why you keep looking at me like that? Look, look, he's looking at me like that. What? Say what's on your mind. Okay.
Let's go!
Let's go. What?
1, 2, 3!
Oh, I thought you had something else to go over. Don't you usually go over anchor stats?
I've been skipping them.
You son of a bitch.
We'll do anchor stats
You
next week.
son of a bitch.
We'll do anchor
He's
stats
a
next
son of a
week.
bitch.
We'll do it next week.
Okay.
What's up?
Oh, just closing the app. Hey, Tyrion, come over here. Get over here. Get over here. We are going to count to 3, okay? Get up here on my lap.
Okay.
I'm going to say 1, 2, 3, and then you're going to say amen, okay?
Okay.
Jordan?
1, 2, 3.
Amen.
He didn't say it. That's fine.
Jordan, Tyrion, say amen.
Amen.
Yay! Good job. Get out of here.
Isaac, I'm just gonna get out.
That's good enough.